Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I tell you, I really would love to know what you guys think, and that's why I'm even talking about this, because when I was listening to this earlier today, I just was shaking my head in horror and just considering the mindset of where Keke was. I just don't know. But apparently Keke's uncle, he did a video where he went live, or maybe it was pre-recorded, but he did a video and he was pretty much blaming Keke's untimely demise on the Scotts and also, you know, the in-law, the mother-in-law, Wanda, because of how she was treated. I'm not going to play the clip, but I was listening to Empress Radio's commentary this morning where she played a clip of the uncle's video from, I believe it was from Facebook. And yeah, I mean, he's pretty much blaming them for the fact that she is no longer here. And just hearing more of the details now, I'm not some sleuth or investigative reporter. I'm not. I just talk about things that are out there, and not everything that is out there I discuss and talk about. But I didn't really put, I just didn't want to think about it. No, most people don't want to sit and think about how someone passed away, and then when you hear the news, you don't want to go deeper into trying to figure out why or what really happened, because one, it's not going to bring the person back. But hearing that commentary and then the news report about how she passed away of carbon monoxide poisoning, saying that she fell asleep in the car and the car was in the garage and it was running. I've heard those stories before. And like I said, carbon monoxide poisoning is something that has happened to a number of people over the years. You can Google and see a lot of those news stories. But I do know that there are times when, unfortunately, people know that that is a way to relieve themselves of the misery or the heartache, depression, whatever it is they may be going through. And so instead of doing something to, you know, no longer be on this side of life, they might do that. I am of the hope that that is not what happened, that it was intentional. I'm hopeful that maybe she had some sort of, I'm not going to say narcolepsy, but maybe she was drowsy. She was in the car and she fell asleep and that happened. I don't know. I'm not trying to be an investigative reporter to figure out or to say, well, this really happened. No, I'm not, because none of it is going to bring her back. But what I will say is this: hearing the uncle say the things that he said and just thinking back on it and just the commentary that I've shared, that's why this thing bothered me so much. Not just the fact that she's no longer here, because she is 42 years old. She will forever be 42 on this side of life. So she is gone too soon. I am so sorry that happened, because it's extremely tragic. But also, what really prompted me to talk about it was how those people treated her, what I saw. And it triggered me knowing what she was dealing with the struggles, which was just a chapter in her story, Book of Life. It wasn't her life. Her life was not dealing with prescription pain med addiction. That wasn't. It was just something that she dealt with, but also in a way, I feel like she was pushed out into the public with that because of what the Scotts denied doing, which was putting that information out to, at the time, Melody and her then husband at the time, Hotel Holt, because they did not want her to be on the show, but they tried to make it seem like they were trying to warn them to say, oh, you don't want to leave nothing around her because like that was not right. And Melody was being honest with her to say, well, the way it was presented to me, I didn't think that they were saying it to me to let me know that you were struggling and it may not be a good idea to bring you on the show. It was almost like you are not a good person. And that's how I believe they presented it to her. Because why would they have presented this information that Melody and Hotel at the time knew nothing about? Why would they have presented that to them when Keke, and I believe maybe her husband, was being considered to be on the show, but they didn't want them on the show with them? So you're going to tell me you're saying it out of concern, but when she eventually did make the show, you weren't speaking about her or to her in terms of, I'm concerned for your health, I'm concerned for your well-being, I'm concerned for your mindset. No, it was, you're a this, you're a that, I'm done with you, this, that, like it was all negative. So they revealed themselves. They revealed themselves of how they actually brought that information to Melody and Hotel in the first place. It was brought in a way to sabotage. It was brought to them in a way to block. It was brought to them in a way to say they don't deserve to be on this platform because they are not standing in a way of excellence because Keke is a this and Keke is a that. Like, no, and that's not right. It's not right at all. And that's how I believe it was brought to them. So I'm saying all of this now to say that now I really am questioning, did they really break her soul and her spirit so much with how they were treating her and iced her out? And I've seen a few people even make comments about Melody. What I will say about Melody is this: I give her grace in that. And this is coming from someone who is not a millimeter. I give Melody grace in that because Melody has been hurt and betrayed by almost everybody who is a cast member on that show, that she has gotten to the point where she doesn't really know who to trust. So Melody didn't do anything to her to like Tisha and her own, flesh and blood, Tisha, her cousin, and Marceau, Gummy, Hips man did. They were cruel to her. Melody was like, I wish you well, but I just can't have somebody in my space where I feel like they're doing stuff that is not upright and that's dishonest or whatever the words were, behind my back. I'm not watching the show this season, so I didn't really see that scene but one time on the Instagram blog, and I just believe that treatment that she received when she was on that trip, and Tisha did not want her there and really wanted her to be dismissed and have her to be sent back home and whatever. Melody didn't do that. Melody didn't say, well, you know what, you can't be here. You need to go back to Huntsville. You can't stay in Houston. I think she just stayed in another house, but she went on the other outings with them, which I don't think there were many of them. I can't really recall. But I'm just saying, the way they treated her own family on that show has such a lasting effect. There is nothing that Melody has said or done to Keke that could compare. And even after that scene, I believe Keke did an interview on a YouTube channel, and she mentioned that because she was asked about it, and she didn't have anything negative to say about Melody. I don't remember her saying anything negative about her. I believe she said that, I can't remember everything, but I believe she said she understood. But yeah, I do believe that the way they treated this woman when she was trying to be above that, move on from that, she was beautiful. I loved how she was presented in not just this most recent season, but the season prior, where she was on the reunion. That was her first time being on the show. She was beautiful. She is beautiful, but that was her first time, and she was on the reunion, and the way they had her made up and her hair and the dress, like slamming. She was beautiful. And Tisha didn't like it. And she was trying to do everything to try to destroy that woman and make her look bad. And Keke was not trying to do that. She wasn't. I just do believe that there were other things that she wanted to do, but when someone does something to try to destroy your character and your reputation, and you're already going through a hard struggle, it can make it harder for you to overcome that. I understand. I completely understand. Ooh, you have no idea how I completely understand that. It's just tragic. It really is. You could be one of the most aspirational people in the world, but if you have people in your life that are not encouraging you and they're, trying to bring you down, it doesn't matter who else you have around you. It doesn't make those feelings go away. And you have to be really strong, and not just really strong, because all of us were only but so strong. I believe that that our Father God is really what is helping to strengthen us. And when we are weak, then He is strong, and we really have to go to Him, but also to other things, people that He has allowed to be here, like therapists and counselors and all those different things like that. And you have to know who to go to and who to trust. And so when you have that going on, and then these people are still out here doing things underlying and sneaky and just trying to make you look bad, and it can make it really hard. It really can. And I don't know all of that stuff with the blogger and all the other blogger, and I don't know all of that stuff. I don't really care. But I'm just saying a lot of that stuff can really break your spirit. And because being on national television was new to her, this was something that she was trying to get adjusted to. And then it was also something that she wanted. And then I guess it was something that was kind of taken away. I don't know if it was going to be taken away from her permanently, but ultimately, I do believe that may have contributed to her heart being broken and her mindset, being in a place of just feeling defeated and whatever, while you've got this cousin and this cousin's husband and the cousin's mom, the aunt, being reckless with their mouths out here on social media and trying to make her look bad and trying to make her feel bad. I don't know what that feels like, but I can't imagine that feels good. And not everybody can take it. So again, I'm not saying that she did anything intentionally, but what I am saying that it could have contributed to a state of depression, a state of feeling lonely, even if she had her husband and her children. So many people are depressed, and they have people that are with them that love them and try their best to be there for them. But that's not an easy thing either. It's not. So sometimes there's only so much that people can do when people are going through a state of depression. Some people may feel like, oh, you should be fine. You got this person, and you really have no idea. So there's nothing that anyone can really do to console them. And then they just may not be thinking, and just tired. Being depressed makes you tired and sleepy, and you're not even really thinking straight a lot of times. So it's possible that she just fell asleep and it thought the card, was off or whatever. You just never know. I'm not saying that she did that. I believe that she wanted to live. I believe she wanted more. I believe that, she was hoping for more and believing that she could have more on this side of life. But I'm believing God that she's resting in peace right now, and that nothing or no one can hurt her or harm her anymore. That's what I'm believing. But he was sharing his thoughts and just basically saying that they're terrible. And I'm like, I agree. I don't know them, never met them, never want to. But my heart hurts for her real family, the people who really loved her, the people who really wanted to see more for her, not the people that are just trying to save face and trying to look good on social media. gosh, guys, it's heavy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye. Don't wanna talk, don't wanna see, don't wanna feel, word is lit.